what's up weirdos? I'm Felicia and I like scary movies and we are back to our movie reviews. I am feeling very behind on horror films right now, so my next few videos are going to be playing a little catch up. Today, we're going to be talking about Alone, the 2020 thriller horror film that came out on Hulu. Not to be confused with the amazing survival TV show called Alone that Travis and I got randomly obsessed with during the pandemic. It's kind of addicting. Alone was written by Matthias Olsson and directed by John Haynes. This movie is about a recently widowed woman named Jessica who is traveling by herself with all of her possessions, it seems, and is kidnapped by a cold-blooded killer. She then escapes into the wilderness and she is forced to battle against the elements as her pursuer closes in on her. So first of all, you should know this is actually a remake of a Swedish film that has the same writer. So Matthias Olsson wrote and directed the Swedish version called Försvunnen, I think is how you say it. And then he wrote the American screenplay and it was directed by John Haynes. It looks like John Haynes has done a lot of TV work, but on his IMDb I saw that he's also directing the remake of Maniac Cop, which is a 80s film. So he's doing a remake of that. It's in pre-production, so that's cool. So I have kind of like two big thoughts about this movie. One, I found it very scary, and I'm gonna explain why in a minute. And the other part of it is that it is such an unoriginal idea. It is the most kind of classic serial killer, almost seems inspired by the true crime phenomena we've been experiencing where like everyone's freaking into true crime podcasts, Netflix, whatever. It feels like a little inspired by that. It's a serial killer who looks like this. He's literally wearing the serial killer glasses. Like it's just, he's got the mustache. Like you look at this man, you see serial killer. There's no questions. And it's this guy that seemingly leads a very normal life, and sometimes he goes hunting for women and then kills them. Okay, and now the reason it's so scary for me is maybe because I listen to a lot of true crime, but the idea of this woman, Jessica, who's played by Jules Wilcox, by the way, and she does a great job, but she's playing this woman who is traveling by herself. She's sort of a little out of touch with her family right now because she's grieving and she's like trying to have time alone. Get it? Alone. And then she is hunted by this, once again, super classic serial killer, which I feel like is such a nightmare for so many women. And the way in which she behaves is so truthful and to the way that I feel like a lot of women would behave in this situation. When he first approaches her, she is very kind of unwilling to talk to him. He kind of makes her roll down the window of her car to talk to him, and she doesn't really want to, but she does it because she doesn't want to be impolite, which is like such a, if you guys listen to My Favorite Murder, like fuck politeness, right? It's like be safe. And then she starts to like, as she's traveling along, she keeps running into him. She keeps seeing his car. He keeps trying to stop and talk to her. And like, it's like the signs, right? It's like she knows that something is wrong with this guy, but she can't really get away from him. And even though she keeps driving further and further away, he just keeps showing up. And so like that is so scary. And there's even one point where you kind of really think she outruns him because she kind of does say, you know, fuck politeness at a certain moment. But you know, he acts like he needs help from her, like he needs a good Samaritan to help him out. And I'll say that this feels very based on Ted Bundy, which I don't know if that's true, but it definitely feels inspired by those cases. And there's a certain point where she's like, no. And she just like freaking drives off and you're just like, yes, good for you. And then it's still not enough and he still finds her. So for me, it's like all of that makes it so scary, and then it's helped along with sound and just like the way they film it. Like the sound is very unsettling. Like when you hear a car pass, it's like too loud because you're really on edge, and like Jessica is really on edge, so like all the sound really works in this movie to build tension. And then the way it's filmed, where sometimes there's like a scene where like it's going back and forth between them talking and they're like looking dead into the camera. And it feels like when someone's like looking at you too hard when they're talking to you and you're just like, I don't know you, please stop. So there's a lot of things in that feel really smart. And like I said, I was scared. But at the end of the day, I will say this is such an unoriginal plot. Like, it's so formulaic. It's like, so like I'm looking at the formula of the movie and it feels like so many movies I've seen where it's just like, you think she's gonna get away, she doesn't, he finally gets her, she gets away, somebody tries to help her, it's not enough, then she gets captured again, and then the big ending fight. Like, it just is like so formulaic that I was a little like, like, couldn't they have done more here? Couldn't they have done more? And like, if I'm being really rude about it, there are moments, and I just can't stop thinking about his face, that feel almost like a parody of a Ted Bundy documentary or something, where it's just like, it's just like too on the nose, I guess. But like I said, I did feel scared. It was a scary movie for sure. It definitely played on female fears in a very realistic way. So there were definitely times where I was like, oh, it's like hard for me to watch. And then I will say I did like the ending. The ending kind of has this thing that I always want to see with these serial killers with normal lives. And she kind of gets back at him in a way that I think is empowering. But yeah, this is such a funny review because it's like, yes, this was a scary movie. It definitely scared me. I liked the performance of our main girl. I thought it was very effective, but I just can't get over that it was like the least original movie like ever. But it was scary. Like, it really was scary. So I don't know how I feel. If you like these kind of thrillers, like human hunts human, scary movies, like, this definitely gives you that on a platter. Like, it is definitely like, here is this type of movie. Here is this genre. Will it surprise you at any point? Probably not. It does the formula very well, but it is a straight up formula. But yeah, if you guys want to check this one out, I will link the Hulu down below and let me know what you thought about it. Because I know some people really freaking like this movie. And while I was watching it, especially the first maybe 30 minutes, I was like, this is amazing. Like, I was like really into it. And then as it went on and I realized everything was exactly what I thought it was gonna be, I was kind of like, all right. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this movie down below. Like I said, it's on Hulu. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice scream. Bye.